You do this dozens of times a day. You pull out a phone, tap a piece of glass, and expect the digital world to respond. Open almost any new app, and you will see a familiar set of choices. Continue with Google, sign in with Microsoft, or Apple or Facebook. Most of us click these buttons without thinking about the mechanics. But in the few seconds after you tap that screen, what data exchange is actually taking place? When you click that button, are you actually handing a total stranger the keys to your master email password? Consider the sheer volume of software an average person interacts with, from niche photo editors to massive shopping platforms and streaming services. If every one of those platforms required you to create, memorize, and manually type out a unique username and password, the friction would make the modern web unusable for most people. Because the human brain cannot easily manage hundreds of unique credentials, most people reuse the same password across multiple sites. This creates a massive security vulnerability. A breach at one small website can expose your data everywhere else. To fix this, the internet had to solve a specific problem: finding a way to give a new website proof of your identity without ever letting that website touch your secret credentials. When you tap that login button, the destination website actually steps aside. The login portal that appears on your screen is not hosted by the app you are trying to use. Instead, you are communicating directly with a major tech provider through an encrypted tunnel. You provide your credentials to Google or Microsoft, not to the new app. Once the provider verifies who you are, it stops to ask for your explicit consent to vouch for you to the new application. This process is powered by an invisible architectural framework called OAuth. The provider sends a digital confirmation to the app, which logs you in without ever seeing your password. If that app is later compromised by hackers, your master password remains safe because the app never possessed it in the first place. To see how this works in the physical world, imagine a highly secure corporate building. You don't walk from office to office showing your passport to every worker inside. Instead, you show it once to the trusted reception desk at the front. The reception desk verifies your identity and hands you a temporary, limited-access visitor pass. The individual offices throughout the building trust that pass. They let you in because they trust the reception desk's verification, even though they never saw your passport themselves. In this digital map, the tech giants act as the reception desk, while the thousands of apps you use every day are the individual offices. This architecture allows the web to balance convenience with high-grade security, acting as a silent, essential part of how we navigate the internet today. Because this process is so seamless, it's important to define exactly where OAuth starts and ends. OAuth is not encryption. It is not an HTTPS protocol and not a password manager. It is strictly an authorization framework, a set of rules designed to verify your identity across different applications. While encryption hides the data you send, this framework establishes trust between services that don't know each other. The Continue with Google button isn't a simple shortcut. It's a multi-system handshake that executes in seconds to keep your credentials isolated and secure. Every day, this system validates human identity billions of times, allowing us to move between different services without constantly re-entering our most sensitive data. But this leads to another question. Once you're in, why doesn't the website ask for your password again every time you click a new link or refresh the page? That persistent connection is handled by a different framework called web sessions. To understand the mechanics behind how your browser stays logged in, subscribe and join us for the next video.